What is going on, YouTube? I am back. I'm making another video. By the title of this video, you guys already know what this video is going to be about. It's going to be the DE, how to do a DE to HR swap. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. There's probably not that many on YouTube that really explains it. So I just decided I should just make a video and explain everything on like what's the process of it, what you need. And so yeah, let's get this bad boy off the covers. So yes, I am doing HR swap on this DE. It is a DE chassis. It's a 2006. I'm gonna show you guys how to do the swap when I'm ready to swap it. I already got most of the parts. I'm just waiting on my harness right now, my engine harness. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna tell you guys in the video. But yeah, my engine harness, it's out getting converted right now in San Francisco. So just waiting on that, and then when it comes back, I'll be ready to swap everything, and then I'll make the other video to show you guys how to do the swap. But let's get started. Pop the hood. Alright, so I already took off the manifold and everything. Alright, so what you guys are gonna need to do the swap. If you're driving a DE and you want to HR swap your car or VHR swap your car, same thing. All you would need is a coolant reservoir. It has to be HR. It has to be HR coolant reservoir, HR radiator. You don't have to use the HR fans, because a lot of people say that you could use the DE fans. I think one of the holes doesn't line up, so you could just use a zip tie. But you could use the DE fans if you want to. You will need HR starter. Obviously, you will need the engine, transmission, harness, ECU. Has to be, all of that has to be HR or VHR if you're planning to VHR swap it. So yeah, the harness has to be HR. And if you're an auto or manual, if you're a manual, you have to get it manual. You have to get the harness manual. And if you're auto, you would have to get the harness auto, obviously. Unless if you're planning to manual swap it as well, then you will need the manual harness. So you would also need your HR clutch. You would have to change the clutch because the clutch won't fit the transmission. If you're running a DE clutch, the DE clutch won't fit the HR or VHR transmission. So you would have to change the clutch. And then you would need HR test pipes because the DE test pipes won't fit. So let me break down everything again. What you need, everything. So obviously the engine, transmission would have to be HR or VHR, whatever you guys are swapping to. HR, VHR goes to the same thing. So you would have to get the HR transmission, which is, I believe, is a CD009. You would have to get that. ECU would have to be HR. It has to be an HR ECU, 07 or 08, doesn't matter. The clutch, HR clutch, test pipes, HR fans. Or no, it doesn't have to be HR fans. HR radiator. It has to be HR radiator. So you would even have to get the HR starter, because obviously the DE engine starter won't fit or it won't work. So you would have to get HR starter. Also intakes too. You would have to get the HR intakes, and then yeah, and that's about it. That's what you would need. Everything. I'm gonna have to make another video once I'm ready to swap everything out, to pull out the whole motor and then put the new motor in. I'm gonna have to show you guys how to do it. This video, like I said, I'm just gonna explain like what you guys need to start off. And yeah, so obviously you're gonna have to need the intakes, the HR intakes, because obviously the HR inside DE chassis, the HR is double intakes and the D is only one. So obviously right here, the power steering reservoir, and then the coolant reservoir, which I already took it out, but since it sits right here, the HR second intake is going to be in the way, or this is going to be in the way. It's going to be blocking the intake. So obviously you would have to get the HR coolant reservoir, which sits right here, and it will give enough room for the intakes to go through. I think you would be fine if you're running aftermarket intakes, like the 3-inch intakes that hang like right here. But if you're running like stock block intakes, obviously this is gonna be in the way, so you would have to get coolant reservoir. But I would just get the coolant reservoir just to have it there, you know, so you don't gotta worry about it. And then obviously you're gonna have to get your harness converted to your chassis. So you can't just swap the harness. You can't just get an HR harness and just swap it onto the car. It doesn't really work like that. If you do it that way, you're gonna mess up the car. The car's not gonna run properly, and your car is just gonna have so much problems. So you would have to get it converted. There's a couple companies that do it. If you want to do it yourself and you're really comfortable with like wiring and you're like an expert at the wiring, go ahead, you can do it yourself. I don't know how that works. I just send my harness to wiring experts, so you know they do it right the first time, and I don't gotta deal with it because I am terrible with wiring and I don't trust myself with the wiring. So yeah, there's a couple companies that do it. There's a guy named Eric. He lives in Tennessee. He's with Guilty Garage on Instagram. I'll put his link right here on the bottom of the screen. And then there's another one that I know. They're called Hexa Motorsports. They're located in San Francisco, which I have my harness out there right now, and they're working on it. So I'm just waiting on that. And yeah, that's what I meant earlier in the video about the harness. So that's all I'm waiting for, is them to customize the harness and spice it up or whatever. They're just gonna make it like plug and play. So I'll just throw it on the engine, and it'll be ready to turn on and crank with no problems. And yeah, by the way, if you guys don't know how to access your ECU, because you would have to take off your ECU to replace it with the HR one or VHR, it's pretty simple. I already did it. I already took it out and everything. I left it how it is right now, but it's really simple. Obviously it's gonna have this cover on. This little tray thing, this part right here, man, this thing it took me a while to like take it out because there was like no screw or anything to just like unscrew it. If you guys know what I'm talking about, this one right here, the little cup holder, a little ashtray thing, take it out right here. But there's like the only way to take it out, obviously you're gonna have to push the button. It's gonna slide out, and then use a flathead, and you slide the flathead all the way in the back. So okay, so it slides out like this, and you slide the flathead all the way in the back, and then it's like a little clip right here that you slide your flathead, and then you just push up, and then you're pushing this thing out at the same time, and it just slides out. And then there'll be a screw right there. It's a 10mm. You'll take that out. You would also have to take this out too. This whole trim piece right here, the black trim piece, plastic piece right here, just pop it out. Simple. And then there's a screw right here. You use a Phillips, and then another 10mm right there. And then there's another plastic screw back there. And then after that, just take it off, and then you just unclip this, and you just take it off, and then it comes off. So yeah, you would just have to take this whole trim piece off, Phillips 10mm, that plastic piece right there, just unscrew it, and then you take the little cup holder or ashtray or whatever that is, take that out, and you put use the 10mm screw, and then that just comes out. You're gonna see these plugs and everything, and the ECU will be right here. And then to take it out, just unplug it, and then bam. So yeah, that's simple. That's how to access your ECU. And yeah, so right now I'm just waiting on that harness. That's all I'm waiting for right now. So yeah, after that, be ready to swap everything. And yeah, so I already got everything. I got all the parts already, so I can't wait to HR swap this thing. This car's been down for 3 months, and yeah, I miss driving it, but it's gonna be a whole new car, so I can't wait for that. So obviously, you know, you're gonna have to need all the fluids, all the oils and all that. So that's nothing. Obviously, you would have to get some new injectors. For the HR, you would have to get that. You would have to get spark plugs, O2 sensors, so all the little stuff like that too would have to be HR. But just want to tell you guys mostly the main things and stuff that you guys probably didn't know that you would have to get HR. You know, like there was a couple stuff I didn't know that I had to get HR, like the coolant reservoir. I didn't know I had to get that HR. I didn't know I had to get the radiator HR. I didn't even know I had to get the test pipes HR either. But you know, I'm learning as well too, and like I said, that's why I'm doing the video. So whoever out there that wants to do the swap as well, get an idea and know what to expect. So yeah, so that's all the information you guys will need to know on what to get for the swap. I'm gonna have a couple of my buddies help me do the swap once we're pulling out the motor and everything, just because they had experience doing it, like swapping motors, transmissions. This is my first time doing it, and I'm gathering all the information, but I'm just trying to make this video simple as I can or helpful as I can. So whoever out there that wants to do HR swap on a DE. This thing is dirty. Look at that. And I think the last video you guys see my car, you guys didn't see this. So I remember in my last video I was explaining I had a broken pillar because I did had or before, when I used to have another carbon roof, it flew off and then it broke my pillar. I explained that in my last video, and then I think a month after I posted that video, I installed this right here, carbon A and B pillars with another roof. So yeah, I finally got that on there. So yeah, this thing is freaking dirty. Look at that. Sheesh. I'll have to wash it again. Well, I hope that was helpful. I try my best to try to explain it, to make it simple. I'm not really good at explaining stuff, but hopefully the video helped out a lot. Like I said, I'm gonna make a part 2 on this journey. So the next one for sure would be swapping all the parts in and be ready. We'll be ready to be HR swapped. I can't wait for it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Just a quick, simple video, and hopefully it helped out. And if you guys have any questions, just hit me up on Instagram. I'm gonna have my Instagram tag at the bottom of the screen, and just hit me up. Yeah, I'm out.
Hollywood Hills. She just wanna taste her, I will love film.